Alexander Spellane here, CEO of Fisher Capital. We have a very special guest and someone I have developed a personal relationship with as well. This is James O'Keefe. James, thanks for being on the show, and thanks for everything that you're doing. You called me personally to tell me about the breaking story with IBM. That's huge. I really want you to talk about that and take a moment to just share with us how those whistleblowers came to you in the first place and how this is all developed.
Well, it was great to see you at Mar-a-Lago a week ago. This person high up within IBM in New York contacted me, and I get tips every day, and I kind of have to sort through them. And one of them was a video of the CEO of the company talking to his subsidiary CEO on I guess like a Zoom call, and he was saying that they discriminate against Asians and whites, and they dock people's bonuses, and they've terminated people who haven't participated in this diversity, equity, inclusion stuff. And it's unusual to see a CEO talking so brazenly and even like racially the way he was. He said Asians are not an underrepresented minority and within tech.
Right.
So we got this video, and then we publish it, and then the CEO puts out another video internally to the whole company, and he says, "Now please don't give James O'Keefe any reaction." And then that's leaked to me. And then basically I just get a nonstop stream of people who work for IBM who are like, "I'm at the company, I can tell you this is happening. I've been passed over for a job. These people were all fired from this Red Hat, which is a subsidiary." So I've never seen like this just explosion of people. I think that's really important because people are afraid and they're coming out.
It's really amazing. You know, you had obviously a huge following with Project Veritas, and this story has really proved that you don't need anybody, man. You honestly are doing just fine with O'Keefe Media, and I think that just really shows that you are extremely well respected in your field.
Well, people, I've always said that content is king, like the founder of Viacom said that, but I feel like people do follow people. That's just what people do. And
right.
I think with investigative work, people have to trust you to give you the information. So I've been through a lot of stuff and a very painful experiences being fired from the company I founded on my board. But, you know, you look at the people who've been through that in the past, and they bounce back, you know,
absolutely.
With Steve Jobs or whoever it is.
So just curious, as a business owner, I would ask this question: how did you cultivate a new team? And did certain people follow you from Project Veritas that were close with you, or did you start just fresh from the start?
It's a good question. So there's something called Price's Law, which I think says that the square root of the total number of your employees do about half of the work. So at Veritas, I had 65 people or so. 65, 70 people.
That's a big team, by the way.
Once you get over 50 people, it starts to get unmanageable. So I think we got a little too big, and most of our journalists were W-2 employees, so we had about, 20 or so.
Right.
And then many of those people only got 1 or 2 stories a year. So we had about, half a dozen people follow me, and a few of them are still at OMG. But I also think that I have to be very careful who I surround myself with, and I'm a target.
Absolutely.
And not everyone is built for this, because when you have the entire United States government coming down on you, and everyone's attacking you, and the people around you have to be very strong.
Yeah.
And I think that politics and media tends to attract the wrong type of person. So you really need selfless, strong, courageous, fearless people.
Right. You know, just to touch base on that, I know exactly how you feel. I said this on main stage. People don't think about this, but there's a lot of sacrifice that does come with just speaking up for the truth and really putting out content that obviously hurts the left agenda in many ways. And, some might call you outspoken, but I understand what you've done has made you a target in many ways, and it's a huge sacrifice. And I just want to say, I recognize that and I appreciate that. And I think a lot of your following obviously does as well. But really, what's the best way that you can protect yourself other than the people you surround yourself with? What does the future look like for you, and what are your biggest worries?
Threats, challenges. The biggest challenge is always going to be a threat, rather, because that worry is, I feel like, a useless emotion. But looking at it rationally, having people around you that are going to hurt you. Because as I always said to my team at Veritas, Project Veritas will never be defeated from the outside.
Yeah.
It will because we destroy ourselves. And that's exactly
Yes.
what the board did. And the board is supposed to look after a duty of loyalty
Absolutely.
and fiduciary duty.
Confidentiality.
And it's very rare that
Yeah.
a board unionizes staffers against the key man. That's highly unusual. And that's what happened in my case. And I learned from it. I learned, I have to be careful who I put on my board. I never really paid attention to who was on my board because, I had a founder's board. I didn't know investors or donors weren't really on my board. But I learned from this, and I talk about a difficult lesson, but it's a lesson that I've learned, and I'll apply it in my future life.
I can definitely relate to that. Fisher grew to a size where I didn't even know every employee by name at that point, and I'll tell you, it is concerning and the reason why it happens, I think, is with how busy you are. It's like, you have to trust the people around you to take care of certain things, and you got to prioritize your time the best way that's going to serve your organization, right? So I just love seeing that you've made a big comeback on your own, and that's amazing. Wanted to wrap this up with just talking about a new project that you're working on. I heard about how other citizens can start getting involved with investigative journalism and how you're empowering people to do that.
Yeah, so we're doing classes on our website. We're master classes. We're teaching people. We're doing here at Turning Point on Tuesday after my speech at 10 a.m. At 2 p.m. we have a 3-hour-long in-person training. So we're casting a wide net for people to sign up and be citizen journalists. So, for example, one girl, I gave all my materials. I open source all my methods. People have to purchase it, so they have to put skin in the game.
Right.
And then if they go out and follow my instructions and get a story undercover, I'll pay them $5,000 for the video. So a couple people do this already. And I find that that's healthier. 1099ing, citizen journalists to go out there and do it is more effective than hiring everyone to be on my payroll. So we have a small core team at OMG.
Yeah.
And we're building out these classes. We're teaching people how to do it. But undercover work, man, it's really hard. It's really hard. And it's very difficult to find the people to do it. You have to be ethical, smart, creative, courageous, fearless, loyal, to your teammates. You have to have political sensibility and be able to communicate. So if you take all those qualities and put them in a Venn diagram, it's very few people can do it.
Yeah, I saw some of that work from you. And my first insight to that kind of work was when I think it was the transgender CEO of, was it Bud Light or was it
Dylan Mulvaney?
It was, Dylan Mulvaney. That's right. And I remember like how you had to track her down and how hard that was just to even be in proximity. And I mean, it's just really hard to.
I think one of our people had to run 2 red lights. So you kind of have to.
That's right.
You're right on the. You're right on the edge of. But it's not just that. It's just so many things can go wrong. So the quality that we're looking for in people is what I call indefatigability, which is an extreme type of resilience and overcoming obstacles because your dogs are barking, the camera doesn't work, the SD chip, it's like, the restaurant's loud. I mean, there's so many things that can go wrong. So people just tend to just not do it unless you have an extreme, So people are out there, and we're going to find them. And we also have a nonprofit that we just started because people want to donate. It's called Citizen Journalism Foundation. Charlie Kirk is our fiscal sponsor, so he's lending us his tax number while the IRS approves our paperwork.
That's amazing. Well, I'm really happy that you got involved with Turning Point USA. I'm really excited to see you speak tomorrow.
Yep.
And so happy that you came out on the other side and you're doing better than ever. Good to see you, James.
Nice to see you.